Let's introduce ourselves.
Hi, we're in Ludo.
This is Ludo. Matt.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Tim, and I'm in Ludo.
I'm the other Tim.
And together we're in
Ludo.
Ludo.
It's pronounced Ludo.
Ludo. Let's get to the questions, shall we?
Questions. Baby Joker 2369 asks, how did you come up with the name Ludo?
Well, Baby Joker 2639, we're glad you asked.
2369. 2639 said, why do you guys persist in being a band? So, 2369 wants to know how we came up with the name Ludo.
There's a movie from the 1980s called Labyrinth. It stars Jennifer Connelly, David Bowie, and a whole bunch of Muppets. Jim Henson directed it. That's the Muppet guy. And one of the characters in the movie who is a Muppet is named Ludo. And the character sort of spoke to us, and we decided it was an appropriate name for our rock and roll outfit. Thanks for your question.
Baby Joker 2369 continues, if you could work with any artist in the world, who would it be? Tim Farrell.
If I could be what? Any artist?
Work with
If
any
you could
artist.
work with any artist in the world, who would it be?
Gee, that's a tough question. Any, like, live or dead? Or what?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, dead or living.
Dead or living, I'll go Frank Zappa.
Nice. Great answer.
Thanks.
Dead.
Tell us more about that.
Dead. He is dead. Tell us more about
What would you do with him?
Honestly, I don't know, because Zappa's kind of a weird dude, and I'm not sure if he'd ask me to make, like, fart noises on the guitar, or, like, yodel, or what, but I think it'd be fascinating.
It's your specialty, isn't it? Fart noises?
No, yodel.
Oh.
Yodel.
What's next, Andrew?
Thrashing is for Lovers asks, ever since I heard Topeka, I always wondered what it really meant. That's not a question, that's a statement.
Well, that's nice.
Good to hear that. I wonder about
But
this.
if you were, in fact, wondering what it meant, our own Tim Farrell wrote that song.
I did. I wrote it. Topeka was kind of a, for those of you who don't know, it's the I Found God in a Catalytic Converter song. And the idea there being that...
People still may not know what it is.
Oh, well, I feel like you know that more than Topeka. Just there was it's kind of like a seeing the positive in some, I guess for us, everyday circumstances where things were going horribly, horribly wrong with the band and touring and such like that, but still having a positive outlook on it.
Nice.
And it did happen, and it was in Topeka, and it was Monday night.
And it was an issue with our catalytic converter.
It's sort of a pivotal moment for you where you change your perspective on things.
It was a pivotal moment.
Nice. Little pivot.
You too can break down in the middle of Kansas and change your life.
Borika Mami says, my question for all of you, and I quote, as growing up, what music was you all influenced by?
We started with that.
I get the point of what you're asking.
If I had a nickel.
As growing up, what music was you all influenced by?
I was influenced by like a lot of heavier stuff because my older brother was kind of into that, and then I progressed into older 50s, 60s, 70s, so on and so forth, and now I'm obviously at the point to where I listen to everything. Andrew.
I really liked oldies growing up. I guess I started out with sort of 80s pop music, with a lot of Michael Jackson, Cyndi Lauper, Prince, stuff like that. And then I got into oldies, and then I guess Weezer's Blue Album was sort of my first foray into loud guitars. And then from there, I dug back and got into a lot of 70s arena rock and 80s hair stuff, and got into a lot of alternative. And I also really like Ani DeFranco and Tori Amos and other stuff like that because it's very sentient and cogent lyrics. Tim? As growing up, what music was you all influenced?
I started out listening to a lot of oldies stuff that like my parents listened to on the radio, a lot of Beatles and Rolling Stones, and especially like Motown stuff. And then kind of got into what was, 90s rock stuff that was on the radio. So, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, and Green Day, Weezer. I had a really big rock set phase.
7 Mary 3.
Bush,
Conversation.
yeah. And then and then stuff like Ben Folds and Uncle Tupelo and Wilco and stuff came out and really kind of went into some of that stuff. Tim?
I avoided that. I kind of was drawn to heavy stuff and metal and such early on because the guitars were really loud and fast and crazy.
And you were angry.
I was angry. And I avoided the Uncle Tupelo, Wilco stuff for a long time because so many of our friends were listening to it in high school and telling me how much they hated my music. So, but then
I didn't tell him that.
That's true. And then later on, I kind of moved into
it.
like third wave ska and punk stuff, and cause those were all the shows we were going to see were punk and ska shows. And I don't know. Now it's like a lot of kind of experimental and weird things, and still a fair amount of punk. So
Great.